how is everyone? This is the part 2 for the mindset video that I was putting out there for when you're dealing with difficult companies or mistakes, or when you feel you've been wronged. And my first one was just about this kerfuffle that I had with my car insurance, where I was sorting it out and then speaking on the phone a couple of times, and I was saying yeah it's not going to renew, and then I was getting a text saying thanks for renewing, and then I was getting an email thanks for renewing. I was ringing up again. It was just getting really annoying. So the first one was about that, and it was about dealing with the PIP. By the way, they're out of everything that has to be sorted out or that's difficult, they have been the worst ones to communicate with, and I'm trying to help somebody else with their claim, and they really treat you with contempt. They're really challenging for you, because it goes off, they believe you can do that, or they believe you can't do that, or whatever it is. It goes on their beliefs and not on the actual facts of the situation, and you've really got to fight for something that's to help somebody out, you know. Obviously it's not for me or anything, but it's for somebody else who needs it, and having to fight, and the extra stress and pressure that puts on the people around that person who's trying to help as well, and you treat with so coldly and with such contempt. And it's a super stressful time anyway. You've already got somebody with a disability that's getting worse, you know, and the people around who's usually trying to help them do the forms and stuff are the people around that is basically acting as unpaid carers as well. So it's just things on top of things. And for the mindset stuff, that's can be a really stressful time, and dealing with people who are unfriendly and cold and come across rude is something else on top, and you know, can really put you in a negative mindset. So my first video was about the mindset stuff for that, and this one's just following on from that. So with the PIP, something else that I think might be helpful is to look into, there's a number of people who've put tips and things on how to fill it out properly, and what they're needing. And it's a shame that you have to go and do research and, you know, put all this effort in when years ago the person who needs it could go and see them face to face and be assessed, but even then they weren't great as well. And they could tell, you know, they could see that this person needs the help, but now it's like a video call of a head and shoulders and heaps and heaps of paperwork, and then it just goes down to them saying, no, we don't believe that you can't do this, that and the other, you know. So yes, it can be super stressful, and the biggest tip I had was to separate that from being personal. They are treating everybody like this. They are making it as difficult as possible, and it feels like it's so people give up, which don't do. And I know if the person I wasn't helping, they would have give up, because they are of a depressed mindset, of an anxious mindset, of a defeatist mindset, and this could be something that threw them over the edge, which isn't fair as well. So do a bit of research around. There's people out there, and there's charities as well that will help you fill it in and what you need, and how to word it and everything, to get the help that's needed. So there's that. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about again was with companies when they've made mistakes. So I've had like an ongoing issue with a company called Vinted, which I first joined and thought, this is great for selling stuff, this is great for buying stuff. And the first problem I encountered was somebody sold me something, because they don't just do clothes now, and after you've pressed everything is okay, if anything goes wrong with that item, you're not covered, and they do not want to know, and they do not want to help, and they say, well, you've said everything is okay, so you just speak to the person you bought it off. Now of course, if that person you bought it off isn't a decent person, they're not going to refund you, you know, they knew what they were doing. And also you press everything's okay, because if you don't after so long, it does it automatically for you anyway. And I do it out of politeness straight away, because I want the person that's sold to be given the money, because they hold on to their money until you press everything's okay. So I got ripped off on that, and they did not want to help, and that was it. You know, I'm stuck with a product that wasn't what it said it was, and anyway, lesson learned. So the next issue I came across for Vinted, I sold something and the person didn't pick it up from the in-post. And when that happens, it gets sent back to you after a time limit. So it got sent back, or it was on its way sent back, and I never received it. And I'm like, where's my item? And I wouldn't even care, right? It was, well, I like the skirt. It was a lovely skirt from Meshki. It's all shimmery and stuff, but I only sold it for £8, right? So the hassle has not been worth £8, but it was the principle. So I was like, where is it? And Vinted signed it off and said, you received it back. And I said, I didn't. And then I had to speak, then they sent me to InPost to speak to them. So I spoke to them. And by the way, getting through to people and speaking to people is like a whole other stressor, because you're going through like chats and it's like automated things, and then, you know, sometimes it cuts you off, sometimes you don't find the answer you're looking for, and it's like an absolute mission to get help. So you've got that as well. So got through to InPost. They sent me that they'd sent it to the wrong address. Okay, fine, mistakes happen. So what do we do now? They told me to speak to Vinted. Spoke back to Vinted. They told me to speak to InPost. They told me to go back to Vinted, and it's been going on like this since start of December. And at the minute now, I could just drop it and let it go, but it's the principle that you can't treat people like this, and I can't be the only one, and that this issue is like, it's not okay, you know, to either, you know, take someone's item and not return it, or to just not help somebody. You know, the customer service just been like really shocking. It's been like a copy and paste reply of like, and then when you got reply, this case is now closed, you've received your item back, and I'm like, what? No, I haven't. So yeah, I could feel myself buying into that stress. I'm going to try and shorten this video now. So yeah, I could feel myself buying into that stress of the fro, explain the same thing over and over again, the mission that it takes to even get to speak to somebody, and everything that comes with that. So what's my tip for that? We do not need to buy into it, we don't need to feel it, and it is actually mindset stuff, which means it's changeable. So how do we change it? So today, when I did my final reply to them, because I was like, I cannot keep doing this, it's doing me head in. So today on my final reply, I forwarded all the information that I could. I said, look, I'm hoping this is the last attempt. This is what's happened. You know, they're telling me to speak to you, you're telling me to speak to them, and included all that information. And I then shifted my mindset from coming from a frustration energy to let's just see what can happen energy. And I got a reply back, and it was like, okay, we will speak to InPost now, and it should take up to 2 weeks. And I'm like, what the hell? That could have been done from the beginning. But was it my shift in energy that got the result I needed? Because was I coming at it with a frustrated energy, which pushes things away? So I had to be in a kind of more neutral place to allow, you know, things to happen. I'm not sure, but it seemed to have worked on this occasion. And then recognize that, put that in the mind bank, and for next time I have any problems, just, you know, another tip that might be useful, keep a copy and paste of what you're saying, so you're not typing it again and again and again. And just detach. You can only do what you can only do. Take it as far as you need to, but try not to buy into it energetically. Try not to come at that email frustrated, typing it out dead mad. You know, just have your copy and paste ready, and let go. And that's my mindset tips for things like that, you know, for the pib, for companies that are messing you around. And your self-care, looking after yourself throughout this. You know, if you've sent an email that's wound you up, maybe you want to go and do a meditation after, maybe you want to do some yoga, maybe you want to go for a walk, maybe you want to go for a run, maybe you want to punch a pillow, you know, but just making sure that you're looking after yourself and you're releasing that pent-up energy. So that's it for now. It's gone to like 9 minutes, which is long for me. So peace, love and light. Hope it's helpful.